I'm sure they'll go back and watch film and break down the struggles and such, but in the moment, they just move on. They just stay in the present moment and go on to the next thing, work the next play, keep talking to each other, and just move on. I mean, that's what I'm watching. Welcome to the Foster Your Voice podcast with me, Christy Foster. After a 30-year career in music and theater, I never imagined I'd be coaching trial attorneys. But once I entered your world, I quickly realized how critical and underutilized voice is in the courtroom. The truth is, you don't win trials with brute strength. You win with your voice. I'll give you tools to unlock your voice so you can communicate not just with purpose, but on purpose. If you want quick action tips to help you stay calm and in control, keep jurors engaged, and inspire your listeners to action, all through the power of your voice, you're in the right place. I'm Christy Foster, and I'm here to help you foster your voice. Hello, Foster fam. How's everyone doing? In my neighborhood, we're in the go home spring, you're drunk weather time. Beautiful, sunshiny days to start, low 70s, just perfect. But by the afternoon, it's pouring down rain with overnight temps in the mid 30s. So it makes it hard to get dressed every day because I'm probably going to have to change my clothes halfway through, but that's where we're at. You know what's not hard, though? Leaving a star rating and a review. It's maybe a stretch of a segue there, but seriously, it's easy. I mean, I love hearing from folks that are enjoying the podcast. Someone in one of my online community groups just commented on a thread saying, "Loving your podcast, by the way." And it just blessed me to no end. But it also makes a world of difference when you leave a star rating and reviews on your podcast platforms, share the episodes, or subscribe on YouTube. So please just take a sec to do that on one of those. So before we get into today's topic, I just had to share with you something that I came across the other day. I'm all the time fascinated by how we learn. Maybe more so how we grow. And as we work on our goals or even just declare a goal, fascinating things happen in the brain. I mean, it's the sole job of the brain to keep you alive. And it wants to do this by maintaining the status quo. It views any change away from its normal habits as a threat to you. So it shuts you down. It tries to squelch that drive towards something new, a new thought, a new activity, or whatever. This duplicity of the brain is truly fascinating to me. Like, how can I cognitively want change and at the same time, my brain prevents me from making the change? It's just wild how double-minded we are. Now, the good news is that we can rewire the part of the brain that is keeping us mired in our old habits. But it takes intention and discipline, repetition and consistency. So the brain can say, "Oh, you're serious about that? I mean, I don't want to, but we can, I guess." I mean, bless. It wants to protect us. It has protected us. We know to not just step into the street without looking both ways. Why? Because we were taught it on repetition, intentionally, consistently. We might have even had a scare when we forgot once, or maybe even got disciplined for it. That now is locked into our habit brain. So now, as adults, you don't even think about it. Of course, you look both ways before stepping into the street. It's a habit now, and it keeps you safe. So, yes, the brain is well intentioned, But sometimes that well intention transitions into overbearing, and we have to lovingly set some boundaries. Thank you, brain. I know you're trying to protect me, but we're actually safe in this moment. There's no imminent danger, so we're going to try something else today, and it's going to be fine. You'll see. Here, let me show you. And then you start to do the new thing in small ways and build safety to convince the habit side, that overprotective side of your brain, that your cognitive side, the part that wants to grow and do new things, it knows what it's doing and that everyone is okay. So, anyway, all that background, what I came across the other day was a video of Mel Robbins. She's a modern day thought leader, best-selling author, podcaster, and she was saying that the fastest way to rewire new thinking patterns is to marry new thinking pattern with something you don't normally do physically. I'll put the link to the video in the show notes, but essentially, she's talking to a young man about how to change how he thinks about himself, low self esteem, low self image. So, to rewire that thought pattern, she suggests something that he should do daily, and that is high five himself in a mirror. Now, she says this is going to feel ridiculous, but the act of high fiving is infused with so much positive meaning. You got this. Well done. Yes, let's go. Yeah, buddy. Those are all phrases that our brain associates with that act of high fiving. So, when we take a moment to look at ourselves in the mirror and to really take it in, as Mel says, the person you go through life with, not just your reflection, but the person you go through life with, and then conscientiously give them a high five, you are connecting all that infused positive meaning from the physical action into the person staring at you. What do you think? Do you have any personal experience with this type of thing or affirmations? I'd love to hear from you. Email me at Christy@fostervoicestudio.com and let me know how you've experienced your own rewiring of thinking patterns. High five. You know what I hate? Being misunderstood. It's actually one of my biggest fears, if I'm honest, right up there with birds. Yes, I'm afraid of birds. Leave me alone about it already. Being misunderstood is just the worst, though. Trying to communicate something and seeing that it's just not landing the way you intend. Too harsh of tone with your kid or spouse that ended up setting them off. A thinking face that got interpreted as annoyance or irritation and ended up shutting down the conversation and leaving you baffled. It's so frustrating in our personal lives, but in the courtroom, your mismatched communication profile could break your case and lose you a deserving verdict. So, I've created a free guide to get you thinking about the emotional profiles you create. It's a printable guide to help you 10x your communication impact by mastering 6 emotional profiles for clear and authentic connection. I break down the 6 core emotions: happy, sad, love, pride, anger, and fear by giving you face, body, and breathing cues. Plus, I show you exactly which point on a 1 to 10 scale you should be with your pitch, pace, melody, volume, and tone in order to authentically capture the center of that core emotion. The link to get your free guide is in the show notes or by simply going to my website, fostervoicestudio.com. Don't wait to clear up your part of miscommunication and misunderstandings. Get your free download today. If you've been listening to the podcast, you'll know that I've been using a lot of sports metaphors and analogies, and it's a little weird. I did not grow up in sports. We were a music and youth group family. There's lots of kids now that do both, but when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of crossover. You were either a creative or you were an athlete. I don't remember a lot of my peers doing both or developing both. Anyway, that said, I'm kind of coming into sports late in life. And let's be clear, I'm not playing sports. I mean, I like to work out and I'm working on it, but I'm not joining a rec center pickup game or taking up pickleball anytime soon. No. Now, as I shared a few episodes ago, I've been a 20-year road cycling fan, and I go all in on the NFL in the fall, and I did a deep dive into the Summer Olympics. Those were some wild sports. Did anybody else get into like speed bouldering, rugby sevens, or did you watch the kayak slalom? I mean, it was crazy intense. This year, I watched the football combine for the first time, and that's for you non-sports people. That's where all the hopeful college recruits do a series of workouts and tests and interviews with NFL scouts and coaches. Then this week is the draft. By the time this comes out, the draft will have already happened. But today, when I'm recording this, I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to remember who all I saw at the combine, and I'll do my best to track it well. First off, how the draft even works and the strategies in the process. I'm learning, but it's a process. I also got into March Madness for the first time. Now, this is going someplace, so just hang with me. I got into March Madness for the first time, and I didn't officially join I mean, I don't even know what it's called, like a pool, I guess. I just did my own unofficial ballot, and well, it got busted right away, but it was still so fun to watch. So fun, in fact, that now I'm watching the NBA playoffs, and honestly, I'm kind of bummed that it's not single elimination like March Madness was. I mean, at least not yet. I don't know if it's going to be, but right now they play like 7 games potentially. So it's a longer process. Okay, so why am I telling you all this? Well, it's because I am utterly fascinated by something that I'm seeing pretty much across the board with all these athletes. The mindset and the grit of these athletes. I mean, I am totally inspired by them and drawn to them. But above all that, I think they have some really healthy perspectives around failing that I'm wildly curious about. Like in my deep inner being curious. I want to try to glean a little of that. I'm just by osmosis, maybe. As I'm watching, let's say, basketball, the whole game is made up of what I would think of as failures: missing a basket, making a bad pass, accidentally touching the ball before it goes out of bounds so the other team gets it, letting the shot clock run out, dribbling on your own foot and losing the ball, or this one kills me: when a teammate has just turned themselves inside out to get the ball within scoring and they pass to somebody who has a better angle and they do, I don't know, like maybe a layup, but then they miss and the other team gets the rebound. Like all that hard work for nothing. And your teammate totally let you down. Those are all things that I would think of as failures. Now, I'm sure they'll go back and watch film and break down the struggles and such, but in the moment, they just move on. What? They just stay in the present moment and go on to the next thing, work the next play, keep talking to each other, and just move on. I mean, that's what I'm watching. Yeah, the scoring, the rivalries, yay, go team. All that's fun, but I am utterly gobsmacked by the masterful way these athletes know how to fail on their way to winning. Now, here's the truth. I've never really embraced failure. And I think I know it's prevented some moments of growth for me. I mean, I suppose most folks don't love to fail, but for me, I often wouldn't even try things if I wasn't sure I could do it right away, you know? There was one time in my voice lessons at college where my voice teacher was trying to, I don't know, free up my vibrato, open up my tone, or something like that. And he was convinced that I needed to just have fun with it. So he just kept on kind of writing me about it. Have fun, let go, have fun. What do you do to have fun? And just egging me on to the point where I got right in his face and I shouted, I get it right. And I stormed out of his office. Now, of course, I had to cool off and then go back and apologize for being disrespectful and raising my voice at him. But it was a really informative moment for me that I've carried throughout the years. I take delight in getting something right, which I think we all do. But for me, that drive to get it right has prevented me from taking some risks or trying things that might have really been rewarding if I'd been willing to fail along the way. Now, needless to say, I was floored when I learned that there is an actual course at Duke University called Learning to Fail. It's an undergrad course in their Information Science and Studies program for entrepreneurship. Now, here's the course description. Most people spend their lives afraid of failing. Yet many of the world's most successful people failed numerous times in their paths toward success. The underlying question of this class is if failing is as antithetical to learning as we're taught to believe. To explore this question, we will test ways of using failure as a strategy for learning. We will experiment with failure to learn how it can make us better as we develop our skills as innovators, specifically focusing on the earliest stage of creativity, ideation. We will use failure through experimentation as a technique for problem definition and needs recovery, which in turn will help us validate the quality of our ideas. So valuable to offer this course to undergrads. I wonder if I would have been brave enough to take it if it had been offered at my school. I'm not, I don't know if I would. Would you? So, what's your approach to failing? I mean, let's face it, trial is hard. And for civil cases, it's about a 50-50 chance as to whether the plaintiff will prevail. Recent studies say plaintiffs' verdicts are up to maybe 66% for automobile personal injury cases, but med mal is lower, and federal court trends really low for plaintiffs' verdicts. Failure is a very real part of being a lawyer. So, my question's real. What's your approach to failing? Are you more like my college self who didn't take risks because of the fear of failure, or at least to try to mitigate it as best as I could? Or do you take more risks like an athletic approach? Quickly moving on, staying present, thinking of it as just a blip on the way to more successful times? I happened upon a post-game press conference, which now is quite famous, and you'll understand why. It's with, now I practiced saying his name, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think I got that right. He's the star forward for the Milwaukee Bucks, who are in the playoffs right now. After the Bucks were eliminated from the 2023 NBA playoffs, Giannis was asked whether he considered the season a failure. And here's what he said. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you are not. Some days it's your turn, some days it is not your turn. And that's what sport is about. You don't always win. Some other people are going to win. And this year, someone else is going to win. Similar as that, we're going to come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, not have a 10-day stretch of playing bad basketball. You know, and hopefully we can win a championship. So 50 years from 1971 to 2021 that we didn't win a championship, it was 50 years of failures? No, it was not. It was steps to it, and we were able to win one. Hopefully, we can win another one. Wow. I love that. Substitute sports for trial. Setbacks are part of the journey towards success, and each step, even losses, contributes to growth. So keep growing. Keep putting in the effort to expand yourself, your skills, and your resources. And if you have a specific time where you used your loss as a strategy for learning and as a paving stone on the path to success, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your story. Email me, Christy@fostervoicestudio.com, to tell me about it, okay? I know in my bones that failing is fruitful. It's good. It's beneficial. And I want to get better at embracing it. So check in with me and tell me how you navigate it, how you embrace failure as a path to success in your life. Let's get better at it together. And until next time, keep fostering your voice. Thanks for pulling up a seat with me today and for being part of the Foster fam. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave a review or a comment so I can give you a shout out on a future episode. During the week, you can find me on Instagram at Foster Voice Studio, where I'm dropping little nuggets of vocal technique and leadership wisdom. You can also join my mailing list by visiting fostervoicestudio.com or by clicking the link in the show notes. I'll send a weekly vocal tip every Tuesday directly to your inbox. Until then, keep fostering your voice.